beginnings on the cusp. Not too old to adjust. Old dog, new tricks. Remember, I was just a pup. Something dirty in my cup. Clean soul, good.
Yeah. Someone got gun on that dirt. Yo, if I were podcasting, it would be insane. Knowledge flowing like the sweetest rain. Professor Bear on the mic, spreading wisdom wide. Of his thoughts, that's my pride, can't hide.
With the voices in your ear, changing the game.
If I rule podcast.
Welcome, and thank you for joining me today. I am Professor Bear, and this is a Bear's Thought. Guys, girls, we are just chugging along in this great world of podcasting. Now, I have to let y'all in on a little secret. I have been doing this since December 8th of 2024. That's when I started. And coming up very soon, believe it or not, I'm about to hit my 200th episode. I cannot even believe it myself. This is crazy. I cannot believe that I've had that many interviews with some great talent. With that being said, I have another great talent, a young man that me and him met at a show. And I'm, as y'all always know, I am definitely real with y'all and hold no punches. We were talking off camera, and he gave me some of the craziest news that I personally didn't know about myself and what these guys and girls think of me. And believe I was happy they didn't think I was a scumbag, first of all. Second of all, I just, in all seriousness, I really do appreciate everyone that I get to meet, get to talk to, and for everything that people think of me as a great person, I think of them even more as great people. And I just love the sport, so I give 110%. With that being said, let me introduce my guest, Blayze Davis. Blayze, how are you doing today, sir?
Man, I am living the dream. I say it every single time somebody asks me because there's nothing more I can say.
Man,
it is.
I'm with you on that 100%. So we're going to start this off by the question I asked 99% of my guests when we first get started. How did you become a wrestling fan?
I became a wrestling fan in 2022. Was not like, my dad's always been huge into it. It's always been in my life a little bit here and there. But I didn't get started like watching wrestling until my dad showed me. I don't remember exactly what day it was, nothing. But I do remember my dad calling me over to his apartment. And he just said, I want to show you something. And I was like, okay. And I walk in. He's like, I know you're not a huge fan of the wrestling thing. You haven't given it a chance, really. But give this match a chance. I loved it. I think you're going to love it, too. It's like, okay. It's Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 38. And he gave me a little bit of the backstory, stuff like that. I watched the match. It's great. And then after that, he showed me that he was training. Been in love with it ever since.
That's all right. I love it. So previously, behind the scenes, you were telling me your dad's a wrestler too.
Yeah, he is a wrestler. He goes by Chaos right now. It's spelled K.O.S. You can find him on everything because I run his social media. So it's usually under the name just Chaos Wrestles. But yeah, my dad, he doesn't give himself enough credit. I don't think anybody gives him enough credit. He's been doing it since, like I said, he started training in 2022. But his first match, I think, was in 2023. So he's been doing it roughly 3 years. And my dad, he has got the nastiest spine buster you'll ever see. I mean, he gets, it's scary sometimes. Because I know, like, first of all, I know that's my dad, and I don't think he'd try to hurt me, but God forbid I piss him off. Okay, I don't want to take the chance on it. And my dad, he's great. He introduced me to wrestling, and wrestling, I like to say, is my whole life. I don't think about nothing else. And I know it sounds like I don't have much of a life, but listen, like, like if I've got something on TV, it's wrestling related. If I'm playing a video game, the only video game I play is WWE 2K. That's it. Like, I had a show last night. I'm wearing a wrestling shirt right now unintentionally. Like, that's just part of who I am recently, and I wouldn't be there without my dad. It's just that's not I just wouldn't.
I definitely understand. I know you can't see, but I'm a big wrestling video game nerd myself, and I have the first Nintendo WrestleMania game. I have the first NWA wrestling game for Nintendo. I have all of the 2K games except the newest one. I'm gonna wait on that for a minute. But yeah, I make sure if I got the system, if it had a wrestling game, I'm getting it or I got it. So definitely understand.
Man, I like you said NWA video game. My very first thought was I didn't even know that was a thing.
See,
I had no idea, no
most
idea that existed.
most people most people did not know that the NWA actually had the first wrestling game after WWE. And the funny part is it was right as the NWA was getting bought out by Ted Turner to go to WCW. And it says WCW Championship Wrestling, but it's actually an NWA game.
Really,
Crazy.
that is insane. Like, I don't like to say that I'm really versed, right? I don't like to say that I'm versed in it, even though I think if you ask me most trivia questions, I can probably answer them decently, unless we're talking about like 40s. You stump me because I don't know nothing before like 80s. But like I like to say that I'm decently versed, like I said, whole life. But I consider myself a new jet, like a newer like I was right there at the end of the Vince McMahon era.
Right.
Like right at the tail end of it. My first WrestleMania was WrestleMania 39 that I watched. Like that's just and I can't help it because my dad did. He tried to get me into wrestling before.
Well, it happens. It sometimes it takes that moment for you. I remember again, like you said, my father was a big wrestling fan, so it meant everybody in the house watched wrestling. So it's certain things that stick out in my mind about certain parts of wrestling that I think, dang, if I was paying attention earlier, I would have saw it, loved it, but it just didn't click to me until it finally clicked. So it's a part of wrestling.
Yeah,
Your moment will come, and when it does, it's like, wow, I can't believe I waited so long.
exactly. Like I've had this chair from Extreme Rules 2016 for years, and I just used it as an office chair. I didn't think nothing of it. But then I look at it and I'm like, this is a pay-per-view chair. And this was from and then I start marking out about it once I figure out what it is. And I'm like, oh my God. Because like I'm pretty sure it's still up under my bed somewhere. But it's got like I think it's Dean Ambrose on the cover. Because that's when him and Jericho had their Ambrose Asylum match was
Oh,
2016 Extreme Rules.
yeah.
Yeah. And I went back and I watched it. I was like, man, and I have a chair from that night. And I'm such hate to say I'm such a mark, man. It's so bad. Like the first time I ever met Xander Storm was at my stepsister's party because she is my stepsister's uncle, I think, something like that. And I met him and I recognized him from SPCW up here in La Follette.
Right.
And I recognized him because he was one of their champions, I think, at the point that I was going. And I recognized him and I was like, oh my god, it's Xander freaking Storm. And I went up to him and I was like, can we take a picture? And he was like, dude, I'm at a family gathering right now. What are you doing? But like at the time, I'm a little Mark. I can't help it.
Look, I know people holler it's bad to be a Mark. I'm proud to be a Mark. I just know how to handle it. It's like, it's a time and a place to wig out. Then there's times you got to keep it in and act like it doesn't bother you. Like I was telling you, getting to talk to Silas Mason, and I'm like in my head, oh my God, the world heavyweight champion! Oh my God, and I'm just as cool as he would have had no idea that I was barking out. But the same with Ricky Morton. I mean, you get to talk to a legend, and it's like, then you're like, nope, bring it in, hold it.
He runs Net Pro or Innovate, right?
Yes,
like him and Daniel,
and him and his son Kerry's up there a lot too.
Man, I've worked for Innovate one time, and the only reason I ain't been back is because they got too many refs. they got too many, and that's a long drive for me because it's from La Follette to Kingsport. So I'm thinking of, I don't know exactly how long it was. First time I rode was with Skyven, but it was a probably 2-hour drive. I slept half the way there, but man, like once I found out how big Innovate really is, I was like, holy crap. Because I didn't think anything of it. They were like, hey, Skyven had reached out to Daniel. He was like, hey, do you care if this new ref comes and gets a few reps in? Daniel's like, yeah, sure. And I came in, did my thing, and then I didn't get home till like 1 o'clock. Which usually I don't get home from a show till like 11 or 12, because that's just how it be.
Right.
Because you're staying for the whole show, regardless if you're a wrestler or a ref. Refs, because sometimes we have to. And then other times, like, it's one of those respect things that you just stay the whole show. You watch it, and man, it's like the fact that Ricky Morton steps into the same ring that I stepped in, that's something. Like, I've met Buff Bagwell, and I couldn't help it. Like, when I met Kane that same night, and you can see in the picture of me and him, I am just tensed up. I don't know what to think. I don't know where, like, I'm sitting there. You can see in one of the pictures, I'm like I'm I'm like breathing real heavy. I'm just, because I was freaking out because, like, it's Kane. Like, I don't know how else to put it, but that's Kane. Like, that's the man. Especially here in Tennessee, like, he's huge everywhere.
The funny story about Kane. My daughter, she was working at a laundromat, and she called, and I knew she was at work, so I thought something was wrong immediately. I'm like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" She's like, "Oh my God, Dad." I'm like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" I just met Kane. Okay. I met Kane. Okay. Oh, whoa, don't scare me like that. So not only did she meet him, he was nice enough to take a picture with him. And she, of course, as she always do, she puts me over. My dad's a big wrestling fan. That. So that was very cool. And just, I definitely understand what you mean. It's such an amazing thing. And just to understand that you're in the world where so many different great people have done such an amazing thing. And it's hard. Some days it's like you want to pinch yourself, like, nah, this ain't real. This ain't real.
That's how I feel when I'm in any locker room. Like I'm sitting there and I'm watching these guys warm up for their match. I'm sitting there and I'm watching them, go over it or whatever. And I think back to when I was just the guy setting up the ring, because I've always done something. But like I'm thinking back to when I wasn't allowed in the locker room. That's where talent goes.
Yeah.
And now I'm sitting there with guys like I've refed Jada Stone.
Yes.
I've refed her matches. I've
Oh,
refed
wow.
2 of them. And like I talked to her after the New World show that we met at, and I was like, Jada, I know this sounds super marky, and I'm not gonna hide it, but the fact that I just refed your match made me shake. And she was like, that's all. Like she's just as much of a mark as we are. And I've realized everybody is, or we wouldn't do it.
Exactly.
Like, because that's what I've been told, man. Like if you're in it enough to do it, then you've got to be a mark in some way, or you're
Oh,
just
yeah,
doing it for the
definitely.
money, and then you're not doing it for the right reasons.
Yes. And I think too, that's what helps keep the sport so alive and fun, because like you said, we all marks. So if we can do so, especially if we get a chance to pop people that we're friends with, oh, there's nothing better than to do that.
Yeah, man. Like I love the fact that because I knew Skyven's name. He went to my school that I go to now, so like I knew of him because
Right.
he's popular. So I was like, yeah, Skyven, I think I know him. And then like he had been to my house once or twice to like hang out, like with my girlfriend, because my girlfriend's a little, or my ex girlfriend, sorry, because my ex girlfriend was a little more popular than I am, and but like now that we're like I consider him my best wrestling friend, because he is the person that a year ago I never thought I would ever, hang out with on a daily, and now we hang out all the time. Like if I'm at a show and Skyven's there, that's who I'm next to the whole time.
Right.
Because like I'll talk to just about anybody, but Skyven's like my guy. I can pretend that I hate him all I want. Like I can be in the ring and roll my eyes when his music hits, but when it comes to the end of the day, he showed me that music in the car and I was vibing with it. Like that's just how wrestling is.
Yes. And for me, um, looking at wrestling as long as I have, some of the greatest matches in the world are usually best friends, because they know they can do stuff. They will protect each other, and they just put on such an amazing story that just for me gives me goosebumps and tells what wrestling is for me. It's it's a story that two people, if it's singles match, can tell, and they can tell such a fluid way that people just enjoy it.
Yeah, man. Like I like to call it like we have one of the most unique sports, because I don't think there's any other sport that's scripted. I mean, like not that I'm aware of, not that the world's aware of. So like at the end of the day, we're all best friends. Like I go to the back and I'm hanging out, and I don't consider myself one of the boys. I don't look at myself as any higher than a fan, right? But I get asked all the time. They're like, "Hey, how is it to be how hard is it to be a ref?" I had a fan come up to me one day, and he was like, "How hard is it to be a ref?" And I looked at him and I was like, "Depends on what you consider hard, because you're, you're running around just as much as they are, because you've got to stay out of their way." Along with the fact that you're also part of the story, so you're sitting there and you're kind of like, if a big move happens, my biggest thing is I like to sell it. last night, and this one I couldn't help, but last night it was Xander Storm versus Skyven. And Skyven got hit with what Xander calls the bear chop. And he kind of brings both hands down and smacks the crap out of you, and it makes a... God, it looks like it hurts. Never taken one, don't ever want to. But he hit the bear chop, and I was sitting there, and I was just too close. I was telling him to get out of the corner or something like that. And I was like, hey, Xander, get him out the corner. And he hit him with that. My ears genuinely rung. Like, I literally did this. I was like, ow. Because, like, my ears rung for the rest of the match. And it was... But that match last night, man, if you get a chance, go to Elevate's YouTube channel and just go, even if you just watch that match. All the matches were great, in my opinion, because I watched every one of them. But if I had to say a match of the year contender, it's that. Like, they were all stops. Because my two favorite types of matches are the ones where you're beating the hell out of each other. And then the ones where you, what's the word? A Will Ospreay match. Like, kind of how it's just flippy doodle.
Right.
Like, I love, they're contradictory of each other in every way. And they threw the two together, and it was my favorite match I've ever been a part of.
That's amazing.
Like, they went out there and threw everything at each other. Skyman hit a coast to coast at one point. He tried to hit two, and then the second one he got speared out of midair with. So didn't go so well for him. But man, and then of course Xander wins the tag titles last night with Brutus. So that was like one up on it. But
So,
it's just...
let me ask you this. Out of the little time you actually been in the business, what is the biggest thing that you've learned that is surprising to you?
That's a good question. Honestly, that's like super surprising is at first, like, if this was right as I started, I'd say that, like, oh, they actually hit each other. But I've learned over time that that's not the most surprising thing, because you can't work a punch and it look good without actually touching each other.
Right.
But I'd say the most surprising thing, how nice people are. You'll meet heels that are the nicest people you'll ever meet. Like Skyven, for example, he plays a great heel. People hate his guts.
So let me tell you a story about him. I'm at Elevate show, and he was out being the second, and he's walking around the ring messing with his fans and whatnot. Just so happened I have two seats beside me that are empty. He comes up and sits down, and I'm just like thinking to myself, what the hell are you doing? So then he said something. I couldn't make out what he said, but he said something. And the whole time I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, you're an asshole. You just, I literally want to punch you in the face right now. So after the match, I'm hanging out like I usually do. And he comes up to me. It's like, oh man, I'm glad you're still here. I'm glad you heard me. And I was like, honestly, I didn't hear what you said. He said, I really wanted to talk to you, but I couldn't break kayfabe. So that's why I whispered to you, stay after the match. And I was like, oh, okay. I said, well, look, I'm gonna have to tell you something. I said, you realize I know what the business is and everything. I said, but you pissed me off so bad, I really want to hit you in the face right now. And he just got a smile on his face. He said, that's the best compliment I got all night.
Man, because that's what makes a great heel, especially nowadays.
Yes.
Like, because people know it's scripted. They know for a fact that you're going back to the back and you're gonna shake your opponent's hand and y'all are gonna be cool. You could pretend that you want to rip each other's hearts out, but at the end of the day, you're fine. Like when you could make a crowd hate you. I'm not talking like boo. I'm talking like absolute, like you suck. You're getting insulted on your way to the bathroom. Like
Yeah.
that's like even after the show, and I've had fans do that to me whenever I don't catch somebody cheat, or whenever like they're like this ref sucks during the match, and I've had fans come up to me after and be like, "Dude, you got to get your eyes checked." Like, and I'm like, "Listen, I didn't see it, so it didn't happen." So, but man, I like that's what makes Skyven such a good heel. That's what makes who's another big one? Charlie Craig. Man, people could fight Charlie. If Charlie was a punching bag that you could buy, I guarantee you most people would buy it. Because I mean, like there's been times where like I'm refing a match and even I'm sitting there like, dude, like I love you, but dude, like stop like because I get invested into it too whenever I'm mid match. That's why some of the reactions that I have, I don't even mean to. Like I say, I talk a lot during matches. So if you zoom in on my face after a chop, I'll go damn, because and I don't mean to. It just I know how bad a chop hurts, and
Right.
they hurt, and it's just little things like that. I mean, it makes such a difference. If you could like with Jake, if a crowd last night he signed with the Mafia because he lost a bet at the Claiborne show.
Right. Right.
So last night he signed the contract, and man, when I tell you, even like Jake is the most loved man that I have ever seen. Whenever it comes to him coming to the ring, but people hated him last night. And when you can turn a baby face, even if they are still baby face, like when you can make them just based on association hate that guy, you know you've done something right.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's the magic to me. The when you can, like you said, we know it's scripted and everything, but you still get into the magic of professional wrestling. You know what it is, but it still literally brings out a genuine emotion. You know you are doing your job great.
Yeah, that's like what I like to tell guys. Like after a match, whenever I do my whole stick on like what can I do better, I like to like also compliment them. Like, man, you had me invested, and I'm sitting there in the ring with you. I heard you going over what you were gonna do before, and you had me invested. Like, there's been times where I'll go out and I'll ref a match, and I'll come back and I'll be like, dude, the like fan in me hates that guy. Like when it comes to Skyven. I keep using him as an example, but he's the best example I can use. Like
Right.
when it comes to him, the fan in me wants to rip his throat out. But then the ref and the, you know, I don't want to say regular person, but like the person in me is like, that's such a great dude.
Right.
But like if I was sitting in the crowd with Skyven there, I couldn't stand him.
So let me ask you this. With you being a ref and knowing the business, do you watch WWE or AEW any different now?
Yes, I watch it a lot different now, I'll say. Like before, I'm still just as invested as I would be, especially if it's a really good match or if it's a really good story.
Right.
But I will say the biggest difference I've noticed is like I know the cues. I can tell where the heat's at. I can tell where the where the comeback's at. I can tell where the like when the finish is about to happen. Like I used to look at my ex-girlfriend when we would watch Raw and I'd be like, here comes the finish, and then the ref would count to three. And I'd be like, I guess I booked the show because like I can just tell because there's little things that you don't get until you're there.
Right.
Or if you're like you and you've just been watching for forever, you know, you've been watching for 4 times as long as I've been alive, which is kind of crazy to think about.
Right.
Like, I'm sitting here, 16 years old, got in at 2022, and you're talking about decades that I wasn't even a thought. My parents weren't even a thought when you started watching.
See, I'm so glad that I'm not sensitive being called old, but
I'm not trying to call you old, but
I
like,
know you're not. I'm just joking.
like, you know, but I would always give people crap about it because I'm like, you know, you've been in it for 20 some years. So you like say for example, Justin Hardy. Love the guy. But he's been doing it for I think 20 something years or 17 is the first number that comes to mind. And I'm like, you've been doing this as long as I've been alive. And I give people crap about it all the time because I'm not your typical ref. Because usually, you know, you don't like book a 16-year-old just because some places just don't allow it.
Right.
You know, you've got the whole insurance issue. And that's why I can't work in other states that require a license because I don't have a license. But like, because I want to work in Kentucky, I want to work in Kentucky bad because of how close I am. Like, and then there's a show going on in Ohio, I think, that like in Ohio you don't need a license, but that's also a really far drive. And I don't think my mother would let me do all that. I haven't talked to her about it, plan on after this. But there's a show going up there that like I asked them last night, I was like, hey, do you guys need a ref? They were like, maybe. I was like, let me talk to my mom and I'll get back to you. So
If I am thinking correctly, I know who you talked to, and he's actually a part of WSN, and he wants me to come up there to see his show. So you never know. Maybe we can work something out where we could go together.
I listen, man, I would be so up for it if are you talking about Brock's too?
Of course.
Okay. Okay. Just making sure we're on the same page. Cause at first they were like, I don't know, because we train refs, and I was like, well, I could always come up there and train for you too. Like I could always do that. Cause I don't like to say that I'm a great I'm like I won't say that I'm better than anybody. But I will say I've seen some referees, not gonna name any names, not gonna throw anybody under the bus, that you know, like I've heard stories even where like some refs will count with their foot. And I'm like, how do you even come to that conclusion that that's even a thing that you can even think about doing? Like, like I can't imagine sitting in a match and counting with my foot. You know, I got to get down. That's why I wear knee pads because my knees started hurting after about 3 months of it. I had to start wearing knee pads because that canvas, man, hurts.
Just to hear counting with your foot is hilarious to me.
Exactly. Like when I heard that, I forget who told me, but they were like, "Yeah, man, you're a great ref for how long you've been in it." Because I've had refs that have been in it 20 years and will count with their feet, and I'm like, "How is that even? How is that even a possibility or a thought in your mind?" I've never sat there and been like, "Oh, I don't want to get down, so I guess I'll just like." Never in my life.
Oh my God. And I can imagine the heat they would draw from counting with their feet.
Like that's something that like I could expect a wrestler being a special guest referee would do. That's something that I could see them doing, being sarcastic about it.
Right.
But being a for real official and doing it, come on.
Wow. Interesting. So let me ask this. With the little time that you've been referencing and everything, who do you look to as a referee for the help make you better? Is there any particular ref that you check out?
I will say, are we talking professional or indie? Because I have two different
Both.
answers.
Both. You can give me both answers.
Because if we're talking indie, I don't know his last name.
Okay.
But I've always called him Austin. That's what I was introduced to him as. He's the referee up at TLW. That's the man that I've watched since the very beginning because he was reffing before I ever even thought about it. And I've at first when I started reffing, I slid onto my knees and started counting. And then I watched him and I was like, well, he gets up and in there and he like does it.
Right.
Because he puts his I don't think anybody gives referees as a whole the credit that they deserve besides the people in the back. I get congratulations all the time about it. But like the fans as a whole, like don't I'm not gonna say don't appreciate, but like don't recognize.
That's a perfect word. Perfect.
Don't recognize like what exactly we do.
Yeah.
And I think Austin is a prime example. Like that, I mean, he will go to work all day. He'll go to school, he'll go to work because he's about my age. He'll go to school, he'll go to work, he'll come do a show and then go home and do it all over again. And he'll do that every day. And I don't know if it's a big passion of his. Like I'm not real close with him, but like I will say, and then for the professional answer, I'm looking at, it's a basic answer, but Charles Robinson. I always look at him. I look at what's the referee Jessica Carr.
Oh, yes,
I
yes.
look at Jess a lot. Uh just a lot of like I'm always studying regardless of what I'm looking at. If I'm watching like a video, like if I'm playing a video game, I'm still got my eyes on the ref. I'm like, man, how are you articulating yourself in such a way? Like, how did they program the ref? How can I program myself to be how exactly they want me to be? Because that's what a video game is. It's just, they're never in the shot, like in the way. And like, I watch how fast the counts are. I've played special guest referee matches to practice my reffing, practice my timing and stuff. Because I try my best to I keep my counts pretty consistent. I like to think. Now there's times where I get too into it and like right at the finish I'll count fast. And I'm still working on that part.
Right.
Like I'll get super into it and I'm like, okay, here's the finish. 1, 2, 3. Like I'll go a little bit quicker than usual. But I haven't been called out on it. It's just something I noticed myself.
One thing that I really appreciate, and you brought it up, is the not the appreciation for the ref. Because like I tell anybody, if you, especially people who are not wrestling fans and they are trying to understand, I let them know that wrestling is the ultimate team sport where if a ref does what he's supposed to do, you'll never notice him. You'll never even realize he's there. And I say this is the magic. I said they control a lot of the matches. The wrestlers do a lot of hard work, but the refs are the ones that help structure everything. And if you're going to have a great match, you got to have a great ref in there. And one of the things that I appreciate being a wrestling fan is how great a referee is. And like you said, do not get the credit that is deserving. Now, let a ref mess up. Oh my God, everybody and their mama got something to say. But if that ref does an amazing job, nine times out of 10, no one has nothing to say to that ref. And it's a shame, and it's good too for the fact of the referee is that unsung hero. He can make magic, help the magic get even better, can help tell the story. When a ref takes a bump, if that ref takes that bump the right way, you're gonna hate that person. It's gonna even where you are, your emotions are at one level. If that ref takes that bump the correct way, oh, it heightens that much hate that, oh man, I got to get I'm gonna jump this rail and go in there and punch him, that type of level. And
Yeah,
and that's why I love giving, like yourself, a referee, the valets, the people that don't get a lot of appreciation and be able to tell their stories. I love giving that time to y'all because y'all bring so much and are never appreciated enough.
yeah, man. I really appreciate you saying that because, I mean, because I'll get all my props in the back because they know, like most people, most wrestlers will start out as like a ref or a manager or something along those lines, and then they work their way up to wrestler. And because I look at it, my journey through it has been I c- I look at it as like a promotion schedule. Like I started out as like bare minimum security. Like I was just there, hey, don't touch my guys. And that's all I'm here for. I
Right,
walked with wrestlers around the ring, went back to right there at the entrance, and I did that like one show. And then I was handed a ref shirt one day and they said, here's the basics, have fun. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess we're doing this now. And went out there, ref my first match. And then I won't say that I have any. I've thought about being a wrestler. I really have. But I think the highest I could go is manager. Like, I think, because like I've thought about like what my manager gimmick would be. But I've never really put into thought like I've tried to take a bump. Well, I've taken a couple bumps, not like ref bumps, like the regular flat back,
right.
and they hurt. Like I know you get used to it after a while, but I like call me a bitch all you want, man. I don't know if I could handle all that. I can handle getting smashed in the corner once or twice. I can handle my wrist hurting after a night, but I don't know if I can do all that almost dying all the time.
I definitely get that because you seen me, you see I'm a pretty big guy. With that being said, man, I'm not about no pain. Joe, look, I the only thing I ever thought of, I said I could be a manager. I could be a manager because I feel like I would bring something different to management. Where hell, the manager is bigger than the wrestler. That would be something different, and I think that would be so fun. But I ain't taking too many licks because if you give me the wrong lick, I'm gonna forget all the stuff that we talked about, and we're about to get real.
Man, that's another thing I'm worried about. Is like there's times I'll be in the ring, uh, and I'll be because I'm one of those refs. I'll get all up in your face. I don't care if you're 6'11". I don't care. I will get as close to your face as I can get and scream at you that this is my ring. When you're in here, you listen to me. And I always preface the heels before a match. I'm like, hey, are you okay with this? Are you okay with me getting all up in your face and screaming at you? Because if not, I won't.
Right.
But like, if you're okay with it, I'm gonna go all in. I will lose my voice yelling at you. Like, because that's I always say that's my favorite part of my job is getting to scream at men that are twice my age. Like I get to yell at grown adults and they have to listen. They have to.
I love it. Love it.
But yeah, man.
But if you in 5 years, where do you hope to be in your referee journey?
Man, I would love in 5 years to at least be somewhere like a GCW. One of those real big, like, Elevate's getting there, and I'm so happy about it. We've got amazing talent, but like I would love to be somewhere like a MLW, like a House of Glory, like a what's another bit, like or I think it's Gremlin House.
Oh, Grindhouse.
Yes. Like just somewhere huge, like
Right.
globally recognized. Like I'm not talking in 5 years I'm gonna be in WWE because that's an unrealistic goal. But I would love in 5 years to, man, like be refing for all kinds of places.
I
My
love it.
my goal in the next 5 years, I'd say, is to go as a full time ref. Because I have a real job. Like I don't want to say real, but I have like my primary job.
Right.
And I'm like, I just work in fast food. Man, like you'll see me one night, you'll go to a show and you'll see me count to three and get real heated with somebody, and then the next day I'll be at a Zaxby's. And I'll be sitting there taking your order. But uh yeah, I think the big one, I think the place I want to work most is either MLW or GCW. I think those are my two big goals within the next 5-ish years.
I love it. Um, I want to thank you for coming on. Um, like I said, it was something about you when I got to meet you the first time. I thought you have so much great potential. I just, it's so funny when you get to stay after a show and get to talk to so many different people and stuff. You never know who you'll meet or how that meeting will be something special to you. And I consider meeting you and getting to talk to you special because, man, we've got a great friendship that I enjoy. Um, and you popped me so well today. Again, I'm gonna tell another secret. Beforehand, guys, we were talking, and he told me something that somebody else told me. Not that I didn't believe them, but if you are in my position, it's kind of hard to still imagine that my name is out there. Now, and I'm a realist. I understand that I do podcasts and people are going to talk about me, but for the level of that wrestlers talk about me, get excited when they find out I'm in the building, that means something to me on so many different levels, and I'm very appreciative of everyone that feels I bring something to the table. I thank them, but it's still a humbling thing to learn that you actually bring something to people that gives all the time. So I appreciate you letting me know that. I appreciate the guys and girls who feel that way when I'm in the building. And I hope that I am giving back as much as I am receiving. So thank you for letting me know that, my friend.
No problem, man. I will say you're giving back tenfold. Like this podcast right now is the biggest moment of my career, at least so far. Like this, I have been nervous about this since you asked me about it. Like I have been terrified. Like 5 minutes before, whenever I was just a little bit late because we were supposed to, start at like 6 or something. Like, and it was like 5:59 when I ended up joining. I was like, oh God, please don't think I bailed. Please don't think I bailed. Because like I'm just sitting there waiting for my phone to charge. I'm like, oh my God, please, 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 please. Don't think I'm a bad person.
No, look, I've had people where they didn't get on for like 30 minutes, and I'm sitting there like, man, why am I sitting here? And they finally get on, and it's like, you know what? It's life. Things happen. It's not a big deal. And again, we're all human, so that's how I look at things and try to have a positive attitude at anything. So
Man, I feel like you have to, especially, with just everything. You've just got to have a positive attitude about it. That's how I look at a simple example like going to work. Like that's because most people are like, God, I don't want to go to work today. I'm like, I'm excited to go to work. I get to hang out with a bunch of my friends and talk to people and make people laugh all day. Like,
that's the best way, because if you can have that positive attitude, it makes things so much easier.
yeah, like my favorite part about my job is I used to work at McDonald's up in La Follette, and I would do this gag with people, like the curbside orders. Whenever I would walk up and they'd roll their window down, I'd go, license register. That's not my job. And then I'd turn around and come back and bring them their food. I thought it was hilarious whenever I did it. But man, that's,
Do you want to give some shout outs before we get off of here?
man. Shout out to Elevate. Elevate has, no pun intended, elevated my career, man. Shout out to my dad for actually getting me into it. If you want to look him up, it's at KOS Wrestles on everything.
What I want is you and him for a podcast. We're gonna make that happen.
Man, if I can convince him into it, I will. I'll call him right after this.
You tell him this. If he says no, tell him I'm gonna find out his next wrestling match. I'm gonna come there, and me and him are gonna wrestle until he says yes. So, and let him know I'm a big boy, so he ain't gonna want to do this long with me.
Yeah, man, I'll definitely talk to him. Other than that, definitely, if you're in the East Tennessee area, come check out Tennessee Legacy Wrestling. It's very much we have our fan base, and I don't think they're looking to like grow it like production wise, but it's always awesome to see like new faces come in. So definitely check that out. New World has their show in May. I think it's May 15th and 16th. I'll be there. I'll be there both nights because they wanted to bring me back. So I'll be there both nights. Other than that, shout out to Professor Bear for having me on.
I appreciate that, man. Again, all seriousness, yes, I would love to have you and your dad together to do one. So we're gonna have to work that out.
Awesome. We'll figure it out, man.
All right. Guys, girls, thank you for coming around the campfire one more time for another great interview. Something that is so lost in today, especially in today's world where it's all these different things that could really drive you crazy. Man, you got to find that happy spot as much as possible. Keep a positive attitude and try to just enjoy life, because life is too short, and I hate to say we don't get a second chance. So take advantage of everything you can and enjoy it as much as possible. And as I always say before I leave my podcast, I will never stop saying this. Please, please, please go and support your local indie promotion. I cannot say that enough. There's too many guys and girls out there that are busting their ass for our entertainment. So please go and give your support. And I'm not saying that they're better than WWE. I'm not saying they're worse than WWE. But what I am saying is go enjoy it, because it's a different atmosphere that the bigger companies cannot give you. And you will enjoy, I promise. And you can go into the event and leave the event with money in your pocket. You don't have to mortgage your house, your first newborn, to just go to the show to enjoy it. So give that support to your local professional wrestling promotions. With that being said, I am Professor Bear. This has been a Bear's Thought, and we will catch you around the campfire again real soon. Y'all take care.